Yeah, we hear you.
So let's start.
Wait, is everybody like? Is his mic on for everybody? Hello.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Hold on.
Okay, cool. So let's just start with like Descartes' argument from
Yeah,
inconceivability.
let me announce this. Hold on. Yeah, what are you saying, God?
Yeah, I'm just gonna use Descartes' argument from inconceivability. If I randomly leave mid-debate, that means my phone has died because I'm under it currently. Okay, so Descartes' argument from inconceivability is gonna go like it's gonna be based off identity. Are you familiar with that?
What'd you say?
Are you familiar with Leibniz's law of identity?
No.
Okay, so Leibniz's law of identity just states that A and B are identical if and only if everything that is true of A is also true of B. Do you agree with that?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Okay, cool. Is it a yes or no?
I told you maybe. If the question is what I think it to be,
Okay,
sure,
I'll just rephrase it like this because I don't want to like try to trap you or anything. I want you to
I'm
actually
not
understand.
trapping. I'm saying that if the question is what I think it to be, then yes, I agree. If you're saying that every single property, as in every single one that is applied to A, is also applied to B, then sure. I don't think that there's a distinction between A and B. I just think it's A and A.
Okay. Do you understand that the commitment that physicists make, whether they're type A or type B physicalists, they're going to want to say that the mind is identical to brain. It's going to depend on like the type of physicalist view, called like if you're
Wait, are you
functionalist or
saying that the mind is
behaviorist.
identical with the brain?
No, I'm denying that piece. I'm just clarifying what the type
Okay,
A or
perfect.
type B physicalist would want to say.
What
Like
are
a
the
type A
types?
or
What does that mean?
hmm?
What are the types? What is the distinction?
The distinction is that one is going to say that there's an analytic identity relation or a priori identity relation, and the other is going to say that there's an a posteriori or synthetic identity relation between
Okay,
mind
what
and
is it?
physical state.
Between identical relation.
Yeah, there are two different types of identity relation established within Philip mind.
I know, and I'm asking, what is the distinction between identical relations? You just repeated yourself.
One's going to be based on the empirical facts, and the other's going to be based on the conceptual facts.
And what would be a conceptual fact? Give an example.
A conceptual fact, for example, A is A, so that's going to be converted to the concept of A. Okay.
I don't know if that would be a conceptual fact. I think the laws of
That's
logic
true
are
in virtue of
represented
its
by
nature,
physical
correct?
I know you think that. I'm saying the nature is likely represented via physical things, from what I've seen.
Even
Like for
the laws
example,
of logic
I think time. Hold on. Like for example, I think time is represented via spatial things going through change.
So let's say that A is representative of some platonic objects, right? Do we think the law identity would apply to that platonic object?
I don't know if platonic objects exist. All I'm saying is that, for example, time, we label
I'm
time
talking
as
about
when we
whether it
see.
exists.
Yo, calm down. Let me finish, Hunter. Can you moderate, please? Give a moderator appearance. But anyways, to
Okay,
continue,
buddy.
I'm saying that time, I don't know if time exists as a concept, but instead, I know that we label, or quote unquote, we call change time. That's what I think. And change is represented physically.
I'm not talking about the ontology of time. We're talking about whether platonic objects exist. Another point. I'm
I
asking
know,
you
and I'm saying I don't know if
just
platonic objects exist.
hold on, just relax. I'm saying that whereas A is a platonic object, would the law of identity be true in the case of the existence of the platonic object? Would it
I don't
apply
really
to the
care about
platonic
going
object?
under a hypothetical condition. If you cannot justify having correspondence with reality, then I don't care to go
Okay,
under that.
so the platonic object is going to be something a science or which is acquainted with the law of identity because of the
What'd you
fact
say?
that
Repeat
the
yourself.
law of identity. Yeah, I'm saying that the platonic object is true. Or sorry, the law of identity is going to be something which applies to the platonic object insofar as the law of identity is something which is universally applies to all objects, regardless
Yup.
if they're spatiotemporal and non-spatiotemporal.
Okay, the problem is I don't know if non-spatial temporal things actually exist, Apollo. You making the claim that they
I'm not
exist. It's
talking about
not
the
you
existence
positing
of
their existence.
non-spatiotemporal.
You just said
Dude,
that
I'm
it can
not.
apply to both of these. You
Wait,
calm down.
Apollo.
Me
Oh
saying
my
that does not
God,
in
please shut up. You just
me
said that.
indicate me saying that
Bro,
does
oh my,
not
bro,
mean that
Hunter,
I'm
Hunter.
Wait, Apollo. What
You
he's
just
saying,
said.
what
Go ahead.
Infinity is saying, is that he wants to if the hypothetical doesn't actually correlate to reality, he doesn't want to argue about the hypothetical or within the hypothetical. He wants to argue
Yeah.
in reality and in the real space. That's just all.
Yeah, so I'm saying that.
I know
Okay,
what
so
he's
I'm saying
saying,
the
but I'm
identity, bro.
responding to
Can
that by saying
Hunter,
to
can
him
you mute him? Can
that
you mute him?
I'm trying to clarify to the
I'm
judges
trying to
relax.
respond, bro.
So the thing is this
Bro,
guy's
bro,
so like
bro.
He's
No,
trying
we're
to
not.
respond. Let him respond,
Hunter,
Apollo. Let him
wait,
respond.
Hunter. Okay,
Let
bro.
him
Oh my
respond.
God, Apollo. Can you just mute him? You have perms, bro. Okay, Apollo, in response to the other thing you just said, you saying that the identity or the law of identity has applications to non-spatial, non-time things, is you asserting or positing the existence of non-spatial, non-time things. So I'm saying that you have yet to give an argument as to why the non-spatial, non-time things exist. How can something apply to something if it doesn't exist?
Hello? Yeah.
Yes, I
So
hear
that's
you,
not
Apollo.
true, actually, because if I say, for example, that the law of identity would be true in the case of a unicorn, like if a unicorn was to exist, it would be identical to itself. Something assuming the existence of the unicorn, I'm saying that under the condition where it was to exist, this would be
Okay.
true. I'm not confirming that it is
Nah.
actually existent in reality.
I know
Okay.
that doesn't address what I said at all, so we can continue.
Yeah,
bro.
like, well, again, yeah, you can continue to try and posit that hypothetical, but he just doesn't like enter that topic.
That means
Like
nothing to what I
he's
said.
denying the hypothetical. To make a real example, like an example within the real space. It's that simple.
No, he's saying to me, he's making the presupposition that the law of identity would apply only in cases of physical things because it is
That is not what I said at all. What the fuck?
He didn't say that though, but he never said that.
He did argue. He made the
no, that's not what. Bro, okay, you shut the fuck up,
you said
bitch.
originally.
No,
You said
Hunter,
originally.
Hunter, you have perms.
You said originally that the law of identity is going to be something which is reflective of the physical world. I'm saying now it's going to be a discussion of the physical world.
Hunter, mute him. Hunter, mute him, bro. Please, just mute him, bro. You have perms. Oh my god. He's not going to take turns. So I never actually said that the identity is only referring to physical things. What I actually said was you saying that the law of identity will refer to conceptual things presupposes that conceptual things exist. I'm asking for the arguments for conceptual things existing because you initially asserted that the concept of Pegasus, for example, will be identical with itself. I agree that, for example, one instance of A, which would be physical within this instance or example, will be identical with itself. However, why does that apply universally to conceptions? I don't know the argument for the law of logic or the laws of logic being correct. You showing 3, for example, real world examples is not an argument because you agree that this thing has to be universally applied.
Yeah, so the argument is why the law of identity is going to be correct is true in virtue of the semantic nature of the propositions or the entities. So, for example, what it means for A to be A is for A to not be not A, right? So if that was to be true, then it's going to follow from this specific axiom that it is true that if a platonic object was to exist or some conceptual object was to exist, given the fact that it is conceptual in nature, it could not be something which is not conceptual because what it means for it to be conceptual, for it to be possessive of some nature which is not compatible with it being physical or non-conceptual.
Yeah. So I would agree with your argument if you didn't go under the presupposition that this thing is universally applied. The problem is you showing one instance of, for example, A equaling A doesn't actually justify that, for example, even the unknown variables equal themselves. So you just saying the semantic nature would have to be universally applied. That isn't an actual justifier, but instead it'll be question begging. We have things that we don't know of, so I don't see why the law of identity would actually calm down. Calm down. So I don't see why, bro. Hunter, can you mute him? I'm not Hunter. I'm not yelling at all, and I'm trying to speak normally. So, anyways, you showing one instance where this is the case, not a justifier being universally applied, which you already agreed it was. Also, you have yet to give an argument that posits the existence of conceptual things.
This is an argument based off particulars. What are you talking about?
I know you think that. Let's conclude.
Okay, so you're not going to respond to the arguments? Cool.
Oh yeah, you can think I did. Oh, okay, so Hunter, you have judgment. Do you
want to end it now? Or you guys?
Yes, we're concluding on the entire debate, bro. Like this thing is
okay.
On the entire debate, well, did even finish when people thought argument?
Okay, sure, we can conclude on that point. Then we can conclude on that point. Sure.
Okay, go for it.
Hunter, do you have an argument, Hunter? Do you have a judgment, Hunter?
You said conclude.
Yo, bro, Apollo, shut up.
Damn. So conclude first, and then we ask Hunter.
Hunter, do you have a judgment? Damn.
I want to at least hear, if you guys conclude here, I at least want to hear a conclusion first, and I'll let you go first.
Okay, yeah, sure. Apollo, go ahead.
Go for it.
Yeah, sure. So the reason why I believe I won this point is because I asked him, what is the argument that posits the existence of conceptual things? He didn't give an argument at all. I literally told him I didn't want to go under the hypothetical to where they were to exist. Instead, I want to go with what's actually like there, what's reality, what is actualized. He didn't contend that. He didn't actually give an argument as to why the law of identity would be universally applied. All he said was, well, I'm going to be referring to the semantic dispute, which would say proposition A is identical with itself. I said that's what's put in the question. Just because you show one instance where, for example, the claim that Sakazuki is the best debater is identical to the claim that Sakazuki is the best debater doesn't mean in every single instance, since we know unknown things exist, in every single instance that the law of identity is applied. So sure, proposition A can be identical with itself within this scenario. However, induction or one particular wouldn't be an adequate justifier for a universal thing. We have unknown variables within this world. Therefore, we don't know if the unknown variables have that nature of the law of identity being applied to them. He didn't actually go around and give an argument for Platonism or any conception existing. He just kept on going circular.
Okay, so the reason why this guy's like really autistic is because I clarified in my specific argument that I'm not even a Platonist, I'm a nominalist, so I don't believe in conceptual and so far they're abstracto, right, without causative power, right? I specified this in my arguments. Now, some try to make arguments that I was not given any form of reason as to why it would universally apply, but rather the burden that's placed on me originally is that would it apply to conceptual things, and he was dubious or skeptical of what the law of identity would apply to conceptual things, right? And then I responded to him by saying, the reason why it applies to conceptual things is because if we have a category which is conceptual facts or conceptual entities, right, we know what it means for something to be a conceptual entity is for it to not be physical as far as that's to be conceptual in the first place, right? And I established to him that, hey, P, what it means for P to be P is for it to be denial of not P. So the claim that P is not P is going to be which contradicts this denial, which is entailed from its own nature. That was the argument I gave for that, what logic would be, which is true. So with the appeal to the semantic practice and the nature that's embedded within the idea of P and not P, which establishes that they're necessarily incompatible. Right? So I did not just give a singular instance. I actually specified that in this category of conceptual facts, if with any of these conceptual facts, all these conceptual facts were to be physical in nature, that means they're not conceptual given how we define what it means to be conceptual, which is something which is not physical. There you go.
Yeah. Hunter, you have judgment? Because he clearly didn't track the point.
So, my viewpoint on this is just the fact that Infinity was just denying that hypothetical in basis. So basically, you did bring up a hypothetical case in which these platonic virtual objects existed, and he just didn't want to contend that. He didn't want to go into it. He didn't think it was...
No, I wasn't given an argument for that. That was the burden he placed on me. The burden he placed on me was whether the laws of logic would apply to the platonic object.
That's not what I placed upon you. No. Wait, hold on. Wait, Hunter. I asked for the argument for the laws of the law of identity overall, not for it to be applied to conceptual things.
No. He asked, and I know this because that's what led into the hypothetical, is that what Infinity asked not about the conceptual object. He asked, how is the law of identity universal and in your example applicable to conceptual objects? That's what he said. And then you went on your thing about the platonic objects and your point about semantics. That's how that went. That's the order of events.
What I'm saying, just repeat what I said, and I'm saying that that's not the same as him saying.
Yo, can we continue, bro?
Argument for the existence of the platonic objects, right? Which is different.
Wait,
my argument for the mind being immaterial. Okay, you can go over recording that. Okay, the argument for the mind being immaterial is going to be the Descartes partnership.
Yeah, my bad. My bad. I don't know if he was giving his argument, but if he was, then we can go back to that. I'm saying that he can continue judgment after, or Hunter can go over recording. So, Apollo, which we can presuppose that you won that point. So, which argument? Hello?
I mean, but like, my phone's gonna die like right now. Like, I'm not sure if I'm looking right now, but yeah.
Wait, what did you say?
My phone's quite literally gonna die like what?
Okay, sure. Like.